back to hopefully home. I'm so glad you're here. And today we are making my very favorite and only pancake recipe. This is the recipe that when I make it, family wants to be notified. So this recipe is called Fluffy Pancakes. It's a simple name for a very simple recipe, but I promise you, you cannot beat these pancakes. I mean, they are fluffy, and with the way I cook them, the outsides are crunchy. It is pancake perfection. This recipe I actually, as you can see, this cookbook has been torn to pieces, and it is because it's my favorite cookbook of all time. It is the Taste of Home cookbook, and years ago when I got married, I was gifted this book for my wedding, and it has some of my favorite recipes in it. But don't worry, because I found the link to the online version of this recipe, and I will have that in the description box for you. However, I do make a few little tweaks to this recipe, so stay tuned for that. So whether you make this for breakfast or for dinner like I'm making it, this recipe is a winner. Any time of day, you can make this, and it is a crowd pleaser. So let's get to it. Like any pancake recipe, you want a bowl for your wet ingredients and one for your dry ingredients. But this recipe has something a little bit different. This recipe calls for melted vegetable shortening. Now, I didn't say these were healthy. I said they were delicious. The recipe I have linked is for one batch of pancakes. However, you're not gonna wanna do that. I don't know that there is any time that I've ever just made one batch of these pancakes. And if I did, I would regret it. We're gonna need a cup of vegetable shortening. And we need to melt it, which is why we're starting with this first. If you've never used vegetable shortening, it's like a solid, greasy fat. But I am convinced that it is the secret to these pancakes. And we are going to stick this in the microwave for like a minute. Let's move on to our dry ingredients. We need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Let me get a clean measuring cup. Let me get this out. Let's see if it's melted. Nope. We'll give it 20 more seconds. So this is baking powder, not baking soda. And this is what's going to make them really fluffy. Okay, I think our shortening is now melted. So I put that out so it quits beeping at me. And the only dry ingredient we have left is salt. And we need 2 teaspoons of salt. And that is it for the dry ingredients. We're just going to mix this up and set it off to the side for a minute. Pretty easy, nothing to it. Pancakes are easy to make. They just are a little time consuming because you've got to make them individually. Okay, so now we're going to get to the wet ingredients. And I can go ahead and put up some of my dry ingredients. Now, for the wet ingredients, all you need is your melted shortening, eggs, and milk. This is so easy. Got all of those right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to put our eggs. So we need 4 eggs in here because we're quadrupling the recipe. Okay. Man, these eggs just don't like me today. Okay, so we got our 4 eggs. The recipe calls for 3/4 a cup of milk for each batch, and we're making 4 batches. However, I find that I prefer them to have a little bit more milk. So I'm going to do a little bit more than 3/4 a cup, and then we may add per batch. And then we may add a little bit more at the end. Now you want to mix that up. And here is where I think the pancake magic begins. You take this fat and start mixing it in to the pancakes. And if you see, you've now got these little shreds of fat in here, and it makes for such a yummy pancake. Okay, so now we have our wet mixture and our dry mixture, and we're going to start slowly incorporating the dry mixture into the wet. Just gently stirring because you don't want to overwork this. You just want it to be combined. If you overwork it, it's going to make it tough. You don't want that. Okay, so we've got almost all the dry mixed in. We still have a little bit left though. So we're going to go ahead and continue to add this in. I do like to thin this out just a little bit. I do not like it quite this thick. So at this point, I'm going to add just a touch more milk. And this is the consistency I like. What I'm going to do is cook them in vegetable oil. Enough to cover the pan. We're going to get this going. We want it set to like a medium-low heat. Okay, so we're waiting for our oil to get hot. Way to test this, I think, the best way is to just put a tiny little drop of the pancake batter. That's not as tiny as you want. If there is no sizzle, if this is what it looks like, it is not hot enough. Okay, our oil makes about ready. Let's go ahead and we're going to give this batter one more little mix. I've lost my ladle, so we're going to use a measuring spoon. I'm going to measure in the pancake batter into the oil. You see how it's bubbling up around the pancake? That's what you're looking for. Now, you do not want this oil to be too hot or it will burn the outside before it can cook the inside. And that's not what you want either. So we're just letting the oil make its crispy edge. We've got it cooking on medium low. I'm about between 3 and 4 on my stove. And we're just going to let it cook until we start seeing bubbles form on the top here. You see the bubbles starting to form on the top? That's what you're looking for. You want, like this one, I think is probably ready to flip. This one could stand a couple, maybe 30 seconds. This one is not ready to flip because it does not have enough bubbles on the top. Look at the crispy edge on that pancake. That is what makes these pancakes so special. is that crispy edge that you get along with the fluffy pancake in the center. As you see, now this is starting to get some bubbles. So that one's got a few seconds more, and then we'll flip that. There we go. You want the bottom to be golden brown, like that, like this, and nothing to be coming out of it when you press it down. Okay, so now we're gonna take these out, get them on here and buttered, and then we're going to just keep on doing the same thing until all the batter's gone. You might wanna add a little bit of extra oil in between batches, but it'll heat up fast because your pan's hot, so just watch for that. Okay guys, it looks like our last pancake is done. Put that right on top. A little bit of butter. So guys, this is it. These are the fluffiest pancakes on the inside with this crispy outer edge that kind of reminds you of a funnel cake. It's the best of both worlds. Time to give these a try. This is the best part about doing cooking videos. It never fails. This is a foolproof recipe. You've got to give it a try. It's been a long time since I've had these. They are delicious. So please give them a try. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section. Don't forget to fry them so you have your crispy edge. Guys, thank you all so much for coming along with me as I cook today in the kitchen. I'm going to be doing a lot of other cooking videos, plus decorating, cleaning, all the things that make a house a home. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time when I'm hopefully home.